Hey guys, welcome back for another recipe video. Today we're going to do a hot spicy smoked chicken. I'm going to do it pulled, so I'm going to make sandwiches. It's kind of going to be like a healthy version of the pulled pork I did, but with a lot more heat in it. The wife's away, so this is going to be all for me. We're going to start by setting up our grill or smoker if you have the luxury of having one. We're going to use a big full chimney of coals. And you want to use a chimney because they start very evenly and quickly. Let that light up, and in about 30 minutes they're going to be fully hot and ready to go. We're going to be smoking indirectly. I've got a bunch of hickory wood, and now all we have to do is prep the chicken. So let's go inside and I'll show you that. First thing I'm going to do is put together my rub. This is going to be really simple. I've got chili powder, onion powder, garlic powder, thyme, and here I'm going to use some hot cherry pepper. I haven't tasted this yet, so I don't know how much of this I'm going to put in. There's about equal parts of the others in there. And this was sent in by a viewer several months ago, who I did a little shout out to. Thank you very much again for that. And let's see what this tastes like. And I truthfully don't know exactly what it's made of because he sent a bag of seeds for the peppers that it was made from, but I can't read it. It's very foreign. Alright, so it looks like a bag in a bag here. Should I be scared? Let's see. Tough bag. Oh my god. They are not like US bags. Come on, open. Okay. So let's give it a little taste here. Are you kidding me? A bag in a bag in a bag? Yep. Okay, how hot is this? You were that worried. I'm going to have to find a little container to put this in. Okay, here we go. Let's give this a test. Ooh, boy. That is nice. Yeah, that's got a lot of kick to it. Wow, it's a sharp, really intense heat. It's kind of like cayenne times 10. Very similar flavor profile. It's got a sweetness to it. A lot of a tang. Nice. All right, buddy. Yeah, you are going in here. I'm going to put about, a good teaspoon worth, and then I'm going to also put this in a mop so I can baste it while it smokes. Oh, that's nice. Beautiful. All right. Now I've got a big bag of chicken quarters, which I'm just going to clean and get off all the extra fat and skin from, and then we'll put on the rub. Okay, I've got my chicken prepped. Now you can do this with whole chicken, but sometimes I prefer to get these quarters. They're dirt cheap. They're really good deals. I got 10 pounds for under $8. I mean, that's just a smoking deal. So I got my rub here. What I did is I trimmed off all the excess fat. You'll see a lot in between here in the quarters. You know, they're cheap and they make you do a little bit of extra work, but it's worth it to me. So I trimmed off maybe half a pound worth of fat total out of the whole bag. And then we're going to just work the rub specifically underneath the skin. And I did pat these dry with paper towels after I washed them, so this rub will stick better. And whatever we have left, we're going to use in our mop. Just want a nice even coat of this all over the meat. Doesn't have to be super thick, and don't worry about any excess on top of the skin. That is pretty much going to melt away, and we're not going to use it when we actually pull the meat. So that's all you have to do to prep it. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of them, and they're going to be ready to put on the grill with our wood. Okay, I've got our coals in here. We're going to go indirect, and I've got my little flippy grate end right over the coals because that's where we're going to put our wood. So now I just have to put on the chicken. And you want to put it on skin side up so it kind of melts over the meat, keeps it nice and moist. It doesn't really matter how you put it on, just keep it as indirect as possible. I know with these 10-pound bags, it's about the limit that I can get on this grill and still cook indirect. Now you want to keep temperatures about 2 1/4, no higher than that. And because it's chicken, we do want to actually use a thermometer to check doneness. We want to smoke them to about 185 degrees. That's going over what you would normally cook them to. Got that one upside down. This one too. Because with the smoke, you want the heat to penetrate more. Just keep it safe. Getting close. Now, luckily these will shrink just a little bit, so I can rearrange them after a couple hours. Alright, so there we go. Now we need to put on the wood. Of course my hands are all filled with chicken. Hold on, I gotta wash them real quick. Now I'm choosing to use hickory here, and I find that it works best for doing real low and slow stuff more than a couple hours, because it's a very light smoke compared to, say, mesquite. When you use a heavier smoke over long duration, it really can overpower the flavor. And you can soak these ahead of time if you want to. I don't really find it makes that big of a difference. I'm going to be refilling this probably 4 or 5 times over the duration anyway. I prefer big chunks, but they were out of them, so I use these little chips. As soon as you put those on, put your top on so they don't burn. Now on my grill, I know to get 2 1/4, bottom vent's all the way open, top about 1/3, and that gives me perfect 2 1/4 temps. After about 15 minutes, it's going to settle. And with this 4-hour or so smoke time, it's going to be right at the limit of 1 chimney, so I shouldn't need to top it off with coals. The last hour will be cooler, but that's fine. Just means it's lower and slower, and there's no problem doing that. Alright, so now, let me show you a little better here. You can see the smoke's pouring out. And we are good to go. So I'm going to start the timer here. I'll check them in about 1 hour. And in the meantime, put our mop together. I'm just going to use my favorite barbecue sauce and mix in the rest of the rub. Nothing really special there. Woo, smoke's in my eyes. Ha ha. Oh man, that's thick. Alright, let's see how we go in about an hour's time. Now here I'm just going to make up a quick mop sauce. You can use whatever base sauce you like. I'm just using a good old standby Sweet Baby Ray's. It's a nice neutral sauce. If you want to do just some vinegar and spices, that's fine too, but I put in the rest of my rub. And that's the key. You want to keep the same flavors going in the mop and the rub. And this will translate even further over to the sauce as we pull it. So now let's go ahead and just loosely put this over the top of the chicken. So we're about an hour in here, and I've just slathered the mop over the chicken. You can see it has a beautiful color. That's just from the smoke. And now I'm going to go ahead and top it off with some fresh wood, and we'll let it go for about 3 hours. There's not much more we have to do. It'll get nice and juicy. It'll start to reduce, and you'll see them start to shrink past this point. And we should be all set to go after that. We're about 3 hours in here. Let's go ahead and check our temps. I'm going to check into the breast, but not touching the bone. And we're just about 150, so we got another 35 to go. Getting pretty close. I'm going to leave the lid open here a little bit, get the coals heated up, and then when I put it back on, I'm going to open them up to about 3/4, because we are running low on coal here, so the temps need to come back up, and that'll finish us off. Almost done. We are just over 4 hours in. Coals are just about spent. Chicken is looking delicious. Still nice and juicy. It's oozing beautifully rendered juices out. We just hit our temp threshold of 185, so we are ready to pull off. Just going to put them in a pan here, bring them inside, and let them set for a good 15-20 minutes to cool down. Then we're going to pull off the skin and pull them by hand into a bowl, mix them with the sauce, and make up some sandwiches. Oh man, does this smell good. Chloe approves. She had the first taste. So these are piping hot, and we need to let them cool. I mean, you could chop them up with a knife and fork if you really wanted to, but to get the really good sandwich style meat chunks, you want to do it by hand. So I'm going to let these cool off. They are piping hot right now, obviously. And then I'm just going to peel back the skins really quick. The meat just pours right off the bone. And then I'm going to make a simple sauce out of vinegar and any really normal street barbecue sauce you have. This is a Kraft Original. I ran out of the Sweet Baby Ray's I had, but that'll do just fine. Just something neutral. It's what I like. You know, you can use whatever sauce you like, but the point is you don't want to use a ton of it. I'm just going to make up enough. I'll probably use most of this and maybe quarter or a half a cup of vinegar. Just enough to completely saturate the meat and coat it. You don't want this swimming in sauce. The meat is the star of the show here. The sauce is just to bind the meat together on the sandwich. That's it. So all in all, we're probably going to use, a cup and a quarter or so of sauce for this entire batch. This is a good 8 pounds of chicken once I get it off the bone. So extremely economical. I mean, we're making probably 20 really good sized sandwiches here for, even with charcoal and wood, $15. Seriously, good deal. Here is the chicken all done up. I've got the sauce on. I like to do a quick pull off the bone. That gets me the big chunks of meat really quickly into the pan, and then I just break those up into these smaller chunks. And I do kind of a mix, some really small, some really big, just to give a little difference in texture. I used 1 cup of barbecue sauce, half a cup of apple cider vinegar, and about a teaspoon of that really hot chili pepper, because I wanted this nice and spicy, but that is certainly optional. And you can do whatever sauce you want, but this is the amount you want. Just a real light coating. You can see it's not runny or drippy or anything like that. Just coating the meat with flavor. That's it. There's nothing left in the bottom of the pan. You don't want to go crazy. So for the 10-pound chicken bag, cup and a half of sauce, that is all you want on there. Now all you have to do is reheat this, and it's nothing magical there. I'm just going to put some on a plate, put it in the microwave for a minute, and make up your sandwiches. You're good to go. Oh yeah, that right there is a beautiful spicy pulled chicken sandwich. Smoked, very economical, healthy, delicious, and filling. Easy to make. Definitely give this a shot. I guarantee that you will love it. See you guys next time.